Welcome to the AV experience. You guys all get the pleasure of seeing us twice in 1 week, twice in just a couple days. And I wonder how many of you actually view that as a benefit. Probably not many. But we're going to talk about today one of the worst movies of all time. I blame Jonathan for wasting 2 hours of my life. Wasted. Gone. Just... I was complaining during the movie. I don't do that. And I'm writing text. Terrible movie. Horrible. Worst movie I've ever seen. And I'm writing quotes as this is happening. And it's just, you said you need a palate cleanser.
I do need a palate cleanser.
And then we agreed that Battlefield Earth may be that palate cleanser.
Somebody said, we were in a group text. Somebody said, was it you, Ryan? Somebody said, is it worse than Battlefield Earth? And I said,
yes.
Battlefield Earth would be a palate cleanser.
It's so bad. Well, because I hadn't watched it yet. I said that. I hadn't watched it yet. And you said this movie, and you said that How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, not
we both
good.
said, man,
live
both
action.
of those are really bad.
Yeah.
Or you said both were really bad. And I said, that is this worse than Battlefield Earth? And you said Battlefield Earth would be a palate cleanser for both of those movies. It was...
Oh, man.
That movie had no business being...
It never should have been greenlit.
A War of the Worlds movie. It should have, it should have never existed.
No, they should have like seen how they how the investment was coming back and like watched the little screenplay and been like, no, we're done here. We'll move on and cut our losses. It's really bad.
That was... What was your most memorable moment?
So all the times, and there's multiple, where they have these impossible graphs that are popping up because he's like the Department of Homeland Security or whatever. But these graphs that are popping up that are showing like global totals in real time, and they're popping up about data lost or army units lost and something that's impossible, like absolutely.
Well, both ridiculous. Of you worked. I worked in IT. You still work in IT, and it's looking at this. It's what is happening. This is not, and we worked for the government. Like this is not how this.
That's not how any of this works.
Oh, I liked the one where they're clicking on people, and they get to listen to their phone conversations.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna look at this person in a camera, and I'm gonna click on it, and it'd be like, I'm gonna be late for dinner. I'm gonna be doing.
Everything was instantly hackable. Like
come on.
They either had a backdoor access to everything, and that's just not how it works. I mean, I work in information security and IT. That's not how any of this works.
Maybe if that you don't have Guardian.
Do you remember?
You don't have Guardian.
Do you remember in Swordfish that hacking scene where he's like, it's AES 128, and we're gonna use the dbase and all this kind of stuff, and he's like just mashing the keyboard like a monkey, and he gets in. You know, like this was that ridiculousness, if not more, because
for 2 hours. For 2 hours,
relentless.
And then Ryan brings up a point: the Amazon Prime commercial.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
It's so bad.
It is so bad.
So the question stands: is it so bad it's good, or is it so bad it's just absolutely a stinker?
No,
I think it's the latter.
It was the latter. That was so bad. At least in Battlefield Earth, like line delivery is not awful.
Yeah.
Like John Travolta does a great job of, it's just a terrible movie. Like the whole movie's just bad. But I'm not pulled away because Ice Cube is literally sounding like he's reading off a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And then giving dumb references to different music pieces, different pop culture, like these just stupid innuendo kind of things that are just it was all bad.
And did you have any PTSD from all the screen zooming and the like micro focusing and everything, the zoom
nonstop
thing?
Like
it never quit. Like if you had like a little 3 or 5 minute section of that, it could make for a chaotic scene that might add to the intensity, but it's 2 hours of that. And by the end, it's like, stop.
Cloverfield did it really well. I enjoyed how Cloverfield did it.
Yeah.
This movie, it wasn't even like you're hand holding a camera. It was all unnecessary. Nothing about this movie was redeemable. I laughed every time the military came up because they kept naming different like military assets. They were wrong every single time, virtually. They got some of them right, but the majority of them, there was one, and I text you about it, I think, where they're calling off the B-2s. They never say why they're calling off the bombers. And so you see the B-2 pulling off, and then the pilot's view, he's got 2 missiles on his... It's a totally different plane. It's not even the same plane that they're talking about. And they did that numerous times. And the only other movies that I can think of that do that consistently is there's a... What is that movie? There's an airplane movie that wants to be like Top Gun. Iron Eagle.
Never saw it.
Iron Eagle is one of the movies that's so bad it's funny. So it's not this bad. It may be worse, but it's bad enough that it's funny. They do that. I don't know if they do it intentionally, but they do that. And that's the only other movie that I've seen that does it this egregiously. But it was nothing about this movie was good.
There's no redeeming value at all.
Did you have any positives in the movie?
I mean, if you want to think of it as such, the sound wasn't terrible, and the video quality when it was like on faces and stuff, they used good cameras.
Yeah.
But what good is that?
The CGI was bad.
The CGI is real bad, and it was always on like cell phone footage, so it was even like dumbed down when they had the CGI.
Why were they using WhatsApp?
I don't know. I did read that this is a 5-year-old movie, that it sat on the shelf. It was filmed.
I don't care.
And so maybe some of that might relate to the age. But
how would you have the NSA using WhatsApp?
No, it's just dumb. It's so dumb. And let's talk about, you mentioned it briefly, but the Amazon ad in the middle is literally, they need a USB drive. They don't have one. They do an instant delivery on Amazon. They go through the checkout process.
He makes them, he says you have to buy it.
Yeah, it's like it's so fast.
So then you see the website.
They go to Amazon, they buy a USB drive, and he delivers it via drone, as if to advertise how fast Amazon's delivery service is, that you can use it in an end-of-world scenario.
And then they have the Reaper drones that can't even fly like they're doing, acting like it's a dogfight as the Amazon drone runs away from lasers being fired at it from the alien robots.
The Amazon drone is going like hundreds of miles an hour at least.
And it's no bigger than this.
Yeah, it's like the little ones you get at Costco or something. It's terrible. It's terrible, guys. Don't watch it. Save your time.
It was really bad. And I never really understood any of the references to his dead wife. I'm sorry about spoilers. The spoilers really don't mean anything in this movie because nothing in this movie makes any sense. So dead wife, evidently they're having a bad relationship. The mastermind disruptor is actually his son,
who can biohack aliens in like 10 keystrokes.
Yeah.
Because they drum up that like cancer algorithm to kill the aliens in like 5 seconds.
Yeah. We're talking about War of the Worlds for anybody that's just joining us, the 2025 version with Ice Cube. It is on Amazon Prime if you yourself would like to stream it. It has, last time I watched it, I saw the rating today on Amazon Prime. I didn't see the Rotten Tomatoes. I'll let you deliver that, Jonathan. On Amazon Prime, it had a rating of 2.5.
That's way too high. that must be Ice Cube family in there like smashing 5 stars.
What did you see its rating on Rotten Tomatoes?
It was 3% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it was 0% for a while. 0%.
Oh my God. It's so bad. And it was terrible that Disruptor's posse, I'm going to call him I don't know what else to call him, his group, they all died.
Yeah.
He didn't die, and he's laughing because he routed his IP address through his friend's house.
It's so.
But all of his friends just died. And he's like, I'm a master hacker because I can mask my IP address. Yeah.
Meanwhile, what's the deal with like Ice Cube's character being the only guy that works at the Department of Homeland Security or whatever?
I mean,
he's like the guy, and he gets control of everything. It's like
that's
the
the
Wizard
Department
of
of Homeland Security. It is literally one guy. Just one guy. That's it. Never gets to leave his cube. Just one dude strapped in. I mean, they said he never likes to leave the building. He's like hacking into cameras, watching his daughter with the coffee, and like, you shouldn't eat that. And then he hacks into her refrigerator. And then the Homeland Security software starts like categorizing the food. Like apple, carrots. He's like, you have no protein or something.
It's the dumbest.
It's so bad.
The whole thing is so dumb. It's so dumb.
All right. So what is the palate cleanser going to be after that monstrosity?
I mean, pick anything on my shelf and I will feel redemption.
Sinners?
No, I'm not watching the scary one.
Is it scary? Oh,
I think it's a scary one.
Accountant 2?
I never saw it.
It just came out recently. Or the other one that we could watch it as a group is, we'd have to do it here, is Superman. Just dropped on K-Skate.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun.
Maybe we could do that next week.
Have you seen it yet?
I've not.
That'd be fun.
It just dropped today. So I've heard, somebody was telling me, the rep from yesterday that was over here said it was actually a really good movie. Like he really liked it. Mm-hmm. So, and I liked this totally different kind of DC universe. I liked the last one that they did. Man of Steel. Was it Man of Steel?
That's an old one.
Not Man of Steel. The one from like 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
Well, there was like Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman and all the Justice Warrior League type stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's not that old.
It's pretty old.
What are we considering old? I think I go back to like 80s and 90s movies, and that's old. Jeez, you're making me feel older. Okay, so
Man of Steel was good. I liked that one,
good.
even though the reviews weren't very good on that one. As far as the professionals didn't like that one that much, I liked it quite a bit.
All right, so K-Man says the new Superman sucks.
Mm.
Well, if anything, I'm going to watch it for the dog. Supposedly there's a dog in it. Super dog. It may suck. I don't know. We can tentatively think about that
stuff. I mean, is that of interest? Do you like his
stuff?
I
don't mind James Gunn. Tiki Time says watch Prey. I've seen Prey. Have you seen Prey?
Is that like when the alien sequence or Predator sequence?
It's Predator back in the Native Americans.
I think that would be probably reasonable. I
don't remember anything about it.
Is it full of jump scares?
I don't think so. It's okay.
I'll
hold your hand, Jonathan. And then Alien Earth just dropped today, or the last couple days. So I'm excited to watch that. That's a series on Hulu.
Oh,
I am excited about that. I love the Alien and Predator series of movies.
Do you know who's involved in directing and running that series?
No idea. I don't pay any attention to that. I go into everything raw. Just try and avoid as much of theatrical trailers, as much media as I can, not knowing anything about anything, and go into it. And that's where we are.
So talk about briefly the other one that I watched with my family last night. We watched How to Train Your Dragon live action 2020.
I've seen that.
I love the cartoon from
cartoon's very good
15 years ago or whatever it came out. This one it was like a cheap imitation to me, on all fronts pretty much. Mm-hmm. And my kids felt the same way. I was kind of surprised because they were really looking forward to it. And all of them were kind of disappointed. We talked about it a bit today, and they all said that it missed the mark.
It basically could have been really good. The CGI was great, if I'm remembering correctly. The problem I had, much of like what I had with War of the Worlds, is the acting and line delivery was so bad.
It was B grade for sure.
So bad. It's not even B grade, because I said this earlier. Battlefield Earth line delivery, great. Terrible movie, terrible everything. John Travolta, excellent.
Yeah.
Should have won a Grammy for his performance in Battlefield Earth.
You might be like a standalone on that.
Could have been the shoes, but the line some of the actors' line delivery was really bad in that movie, but some of them were really good. Everyone in War of the Worlds, everyone in How to Train Your Dragon, with the exception of the guy that did 300, the main guy in 300.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah, he was fine.
But even I have this to say about that performance. In the animation, he does a great job with the voice either way. But in the animation, Stoic is larger than life. He's just like a giant, cool Viking man. And in the real action serial, Gerard Butler is like just a normal sized guy with a bunch of fur on.
But when you're doing a live action, I think that's a little bit more difficult to do. But I get what you mean. They potentially should have made him larger.
Somehow, somewhere, picked a different actor or something, and I don't know, man. He didn't have the same screen presence.
Come on,
at
Hollywood,
all,
make the guy fat.
The same voice.
Make the guy fat. You picked a jacked guy for somebody that should have been fat. What's up?
Yeah.
All right, so people are saying Prey, Superman. I'm getting mixed reviews, but I'm fine with either way. Don't care. It's 50-50 on the Superman stuff. On what people are saying. Tiki Time says Prey got a 94 on Rotten Tomatoes. It was good. I know I don't remember anything about it. Any other suggestions on movies? I want to watch Sinners. Maybe I'll watch that with my wife this weekend. Because I think she asked me about it.
I keep reading how good it is. Like, it's all over Facebook. It's all over AVS.
The
on my
Atmos
text
is
groups.
supposed to be amazing.
The dance party scene is supposed to be off the hook with the audio. And
I'll rate it for you if I think it's too scary for you. I'll be honest. I'll tell you if I think
your degree of what you feel safe with is much.
I mean, can you watch Blade?
I haven't watched that since high school. I don't remember that being terribly scary for some reason.
Okay. So I'll rate it. I'll give you kind of what I feel like a movie, what movie I think it's like, and then you can make a determination.
But you weren't scared at all in 28 Days, and I was crawling out of my skin.
Yeah, but it's still a scary, like, that movie is meant to be scary. I get that. So I'll give you an idea of what movie it's like. I'm just a disturbed human, okay? I don't know. Prey was good, but unrealistic. I don't know. I enjoyed it. Okay. Any other movies?
On the How to Train Your Dragon thing, just to finish up that line of thought, the actor who did Hiccup, I thought, did a really good job. And I thought pretty much all the other kid characters were bad. Yeah, I mean, I thought he was the star in that to me. The actor who played Gobber was not good. The actor who played Stoic didn't have the presence, like I said, Gerald Butler. It just, even Hiccup didn't have the same charm or appeal. Mm-hmm. Like, my kids were saying Hiccup seems scary in the live action thing versus drawing or friendly.
Yeah, they made the movie too dark.
Literally, as on another topic on that same thing, yesterday when we were getting ready to watch it, the kids were all excited. Like I said, they've been talking about this for months. So they went out to Dollar General and bought a packet of candy each, what they wanted. So it'd be like kind of a movie theater experience. We're doing this the right way. And before we started, during the day over
Jonathan handed out all of their phones. They could watch it on their phone and their Apple Air. Earphones.
Over lunch, I said, which projector do you guys want to watch it on? The Epson or the JVC, the QL3000 or the NZ500? And there was a little bit of a controversy, but it was 3-2 that they wanted to watch it on the JVC. So my wife and my oldest wanted to watch on the Epson, and the younger ones wanted to watch on the JVC. And there was all kinds of discussion, like, well, this is going to have a lot of dark scenes from the trailer, so we should watch on the JVC.
What have you done to your family?
We'll hear this out. So I didn't vote. I was just letting them hash it out and kind of enjoying. I actually took like 3 or 4 minutes of recording of it because I thought it was really funny to hear it just kind of a fly on the wall, hear them talking about it. They're arguing about it even. It's getting intense on which projector they should use. We start the movie and we're not even 5 minutes in. I mean, truly not even 5 minutes in. And all 5 of them are like, Jonathan, Dad. My wife's saying, Jonathan, turn the JVC off. Let's fire it up on the Epson. It's too dark on this. Like, we need it to be, because the movie starts so dark and it's so dark. So I said, we're not doing a switch until we're at least halfway into the movie. We're not doing it.
Oh, Jonathan, it's not a Jonathan approved switch, so we're not going to do it. Family, no. Just
So we waited about 45 minutes and we switched it. And then at the end, I asked them, so which one did you like better, the Epson or the JVC? And this isn't universally the case. Like, we've watched other movies and that's not the case. But on this one, it was universal. Everyone liked the QL3000 because that extra brightness was just.
So maybe they didn't like it because they couldn't see the entire first half of the movie.
Well, so the darks were dark, and that movie starts dark, but then the brights have no pizzazz.
They don't.
And the QL3000 brought the pizzazz.
I couldn't think of anything to say. So you didn't like that one. We've just been on I watched Jurassic Park Rebirth. You guys know that. We talked about that last time.
Yeah.
That was awful. What is Hollywood doing?
I don't understand
They're
it.
just bad.
I don't understand it.
Bad. Sinners, great, but Sinners is an original plot. They're not remaking anything. So excited about that one. What do you think Tron Ares will be good?
I've seen nothing on it. I'm blind to it right now.
I'm blind to it too.
Tron Legacy.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Is Tron Ares a series or is it a movie? I don't even know.
I don't know. I know nothing about. I just know that it's coming. That's all I know.
I mean, I'll definitely check it out.
Okay. John McAdoo drops $20 USD. Much
thanks,
appreciated.
John. Yeah.
Says, thanks for the knowledge and entertainment every week. Well, we try to do something, and I think you guys just like to watch the train wreck. Just can't look away as we smash into each other, and we're just on here to have fun. I think the biggest part of this, Jonathan, maybe you'll agree, is we want to try and make it so that as many people as possible don't have to go through the same mistakes we did during our journeys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it can be expensive. You can look at something like, well, I should not have done that. And if you don't know any better, you're kind of stuck with it, and you just have to learn from it. But John, I very much appreciate that.
Yeah, it's real nice. Thanks, man.
Hopefully you enjoy it. Seem to, but hopefully you do. Hopefully you continue to. And if anybody has any suggestions about how we can make things better, don't hesitate to let us know. I can't promise that we're going to do it, but you can tell us. Does my mic sound crackly?
A little bit, a tiny bit, but not
a tiny bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, hey, did it redo it on the restart this time or not? Type thing.
I didn't restart anything. Stupid restream. Okay, well, you guys can suck it up this time. All right, you got anything else?
The first comment of the show that we didn't really pay attention to at the time, but I thought it was funny. I think at this point, our audience is so like not unsure of what's going to happen.
Like the plots of some of these movies.
Schedule that we've done.
We're just following in Hollywood's footsteps.
Roll the dice whether we'll actually be here when we schedule. Yeah.
Are they going to be on tonight? Are they going to be on tomorrow? Are they not going to show up? What's going to happen? I have no idea. We'll wait around and find out. Tune in next time for the time that Jonathan and Ryan may show up.
Yeah. Maybe late.
I mean, I scheduled this one 7 hours ahead of time, so that was a positive. That was 7 hours early. And we said on Wednesday we would do it Friday, and we did. It's amazing.
My daughter asked me just about an hour ago, truly. She said, did you know Ryan scheduled one again for Friday night? Didn't you just do that Wednesday night? I said, yeah, I know. We talked about it last podcast.
Okay. Well, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in chat. I got to make my face stop hurting as I turn into a bright red tomato. I think as I progress to having less and less hair, I get more blood into my head and I just turn brighter and brighter red. I don't know what's happening. Joys of getting older.
At least
any
you're
other
not
movies?
A fat middle-aged woman yet.
It does look better.
That's like 5 years.
You don't need to show it on camera, but it does look better. You showed it to me earlier.
Yeah, it's not quite as red.
It's getting better. It's getting better. Did anything else happen? I don't think I watched any other movies this week. Nothing. We talked Wednesday, so I haven't
Yeah, I
done
mean, it's
anything
like
since
2
then.
days ago. We both watched a couple movies. That's doing pretty good, I think, between our regular jobs and responsibilities.
Well, we don't work.
I
We act
do.
like we do. I don't know that you do.
I work.
You tell me sometimes that you're on call, and then I don't know. I mean, that's as far as it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
So I don't. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. It's kind of how the whole government goes. Maybe they did it. Maybe they didn't. Who knows?
Oh man.
I'm kidding. I don't know what that.
Yeah.
Gary Pye says maybe some form of a schedule. We used to do every Sunday, and then Jonathan's real life got in the way, and it just threw the whole thing into chaos.
Yeah.
I blame Megan.
I did. We started a Bible study on Sunday night, and then since then we've never found a rhythm. We just kind of show up when we show up.
Yeah.
Catch us when you can.
Sometimes I'll jump into Restream and just say, Jonathan, want to go? And he just says, yeah, no, we don't do that. We talk at least the day of, maybe an hour before. It's close. So MW says, what do you want to see at CEDIA? I don't know. Something I'm not expecting? That would be nice. I'm not really expecting anything. So, Jonathan, is there anything you'd like to see come into the industry?
Yes.
What?
See Bitstream on the Apple TV 4K. Can you make
that? Would be nice. I don't think that'll get announced at CEDIA.
Then maybe the new Apple TV device could, right? They're supposed. Rumor has it there's one coming this year.
Why?
Because they haven't released one in 3 years, and it's time.
Has it been 3 years? Oh my God.
Well, by the time
that was 3 years ago.
It might. Was it 2023 or 2022? It's either 2 or 3 years. I'll look it up. You keep going.
I don't. What else? More progression on cheaper TVs. So bringing the OLED price down. More progression on cheaper LED walls would be nice. On good, not garbage.
Yeah, it looks like it's 2023, the last one released. So a couple years at least.
Next year. That'd be 3 years. Next year would be 3 years. So yeah, they may announce it at CEDIA. Ryan Kramer says 22.
I mean, I'm looking at one. Maybe AI is wrong, but it says A15 chip. Apple TV 4K was in 2023.
Anything? What else would I want to see?
I'm really looking forward to this next crop of projectors, but that's still 2 years out. I suspect that there will be some major changes to the way things have been going in the next cycle.
We can dream. Doubt it. What are they going to change?
Did you see Texas Instruments now has a 4K DLP chip that they're working on that's not out yet, but it's coming? So that'll be interesting. That'll move the bar.
Yeah.
And then I feel like Epson has moved the bar for JVC. I suspect that JVC might release a brighter projector this next go round, and I think that's good for everybody, except for Epson. But it's good for everybody in the consumer side.
That's fair. That's fair. I can get behind that.
And I'm looking forward to see what happens there. Sure.
A couple years out. Got to get away from all these price increases that keep happening.
I got it. Ryan says, where'd you get your information? I got it right here. I can show it to you. It's on Google AI. It just says it at the very top.
Oh, you're trusting AI?
Apparently not.
Oh,
but
God.
I started to.
Oh, God. Jonathan's becoming a boomer. Reads everything, believes everything he reads on the internet. Well, the AI told me it has to be right.
If it came out in November 3rd,
so this
November 2022, it's pretty late.
This is something that would be cool. A digital or Dante version of the Marantz AV10 or 20. That'd be cool.
Has anyone done that successfully? I've heard of like the JBL processor does it.
Storm has it.
They click. There's clicking in it. There's like issues in the early iterations of it. I don't know if they ever got that stuff shored up.
I don't know.
The original runs of that had problems.
I haven't heard anything negative about it lately. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist, because I don't usually use that.
Originally they did.
I don't have a reason to as of right now. But that would be cool. More mainstream products using AES 67 or Dante. That would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Can get behind that. That's a good suggestion.
But those companies were not going to do that because they got to license it. Now they don't want to license those functions. That's my suspicion.
So MW says Storm has it, which I knew, and he is right. Trenov is debuting it at CEDIA. So that's cool.
Are they actually going with Dante or their own flavor of it?
I don't know. I do not know.
I mean, that stuff all has to be licensed at expense.
Don't
there you
know.
go. Big Street Cinema says the JBL still has problems with their integration of that.
Well, I can believe that.
What it was literally was clicking, like a time iteration, like a synchronization clicking that was happening between the amp channels to keep them in line. I don't know how right it was, but you could hear it enough where people were really complaining about it and saying it was unusable.
And he does bring up a good point. Then you need amps that can take in digital, and there's not very many of those out there either. So someday, but I don't really view it as too much of a problem right now. So I don't know what problem they're trying to solve, at least in residential. I get it in commercial.
It's strictly a cabling thing, like less cables. You run cable.
Not only that, you are removing cables. It makes it easier to run digital crossovers. Yeah. I get the idea. I just don't see the problem they're trying to solve in residential right now. All right, you want to go through questions? I've been starring them. We got 8. We'll see how long we go tonight.
Okay, let's see. Finster says, I know you say use high excursion driver for near field, but if I'm trying to improve bass drum chest thump, wouldn't a pro driver like PSA 18 work too? I'm not looking for more infrasonics. Yeah, sure. Most of the time, I think people with near field are looking for that infrasonic feel that's hard to get any other way. So you might have a different use case of what you're trying to pursue, Finster, and that's fine. In a large airspace like my room, I can have 11 of those drivers moving, and the wavelengths, we've talked about this even on the last podcast. The wavelengths of those low hertz bass frequencies are so long that they intersect in weird places and do fancy things in weird places, but just generally it's not that strong of a feel in a large airspace room. And if you put that near field driver behind you with the high excursion, you get the feel. So that's what I'm chasing. If you don't care about that or even want that, try it. See if you put a near field behind you and crank 70, 80, 90 hertz on it with your PEQ and see if it does what you want. At that point, sure, a pro audio driver like the PSA 18 would work as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear what you're saying, and I don't fault you for it, but I don't understand why you wouldn't want the infrasonics, because the 70 hertz stuff is easy to do from the front of the room. So, and you can get, I guess you could get more. Sure, you can get more feel, but frankly, I don't even really like it's just horses for coursers or personal preference or however you want to word it. I don't personally even like the kick drum feel that strong from behind me. I want more of the infrasonic stuff or the lowest frequency stuff for the feel. Teach their own.
I think if you're doing it, you might as well just do it all the way and not put that stuff behind another wall. Like if you're going to put an a near field in, allow it to do infrasonic as well. Mm-hmm. There's no sense in just shelving yourself off and doing just mid bass. I mean, pros, if it's close enough, you could potentially, even a pro driver could do infrasonic if it's not hard stopped.
Well, a lot of the pro stuff won't even do it because of the port tune. Like they would.
Oh, I wouldn't do a port tune either. I wouldn't do a ported driver either for near field.
No, I wouldn't either.
No,
we've talked about that on several podcasts.
Yeah, don't do that. Sealed all the way.
Next question. JSIL 36 says, Ryan, I hear JVC might have price increases again. On the JVC NZ500.
They just did
once.
It's $6,500 now. It was.
Is there another one coming? Is that
I
what
don't
you're
know.
hearing?
I hope not. I mean, that would help Epson, but I haven't heard anything.
It was one of the more recent podcasts. It might even been the most recent one where we talked about. I looked up Japan's tariffs are 15% set right now, and the price increase was only like 9%. So if they want to one for one with a tariff, they would go up again potentially. But I don't know if there should be a one for one or if that's even legitimate because who knows?
I don't know.
MW says, what was brighter, the NZ900 or the Sony Bravia 9? They're about the same, frankly, weren't they?
Yeah.
The tone mapping was better on the JVC, which if you use like auto wide or something with its formula, it will further increase the brightness of the image. And so in that case with HDR, the NZ900 would be brighter subjectively or, objectively, depending on the content. SDR, they're going to be pretty similar in brightness, I think.
Yeah. And I think rated brightness, they're very similar.
And the Sony might be a little bit higher on rated brightness, but
yeah, but I don't know that you're going to notice that.
Yeah. I agree. SDR, they're going to be about the same brightness.
Which would you choose, given the choice?
Can I say my thoughts without you feeling like I can't say that since you kind of have ability to deal with both?
I was going to ask you which one would you choose?
JVC 900, NZ 900 all day long, twice on Sundays. It's a better unit. I mean, that's what it is.
I agree. It is better. It's objectively better in every way. Maybe it's not as bright. It may lose the lumen game, but it is technically measured. It's just better. Can't really argue with the measurements.
And it's not even just the objective measurements. I mean, we saw them side by side in two different rooms. The NZ900.
Okay, so MW does have a point that but I don't think this matters. The Sony, because it's so close anyway, the Sony has a better color gamut.
It doesn't matter.
But you're not going to notice that. Unless you're looking at different shades of green. I don't think you're going to notice that unless it's so far out. And even then, nobody looks at a projector and goes, man, look at that color gamut.
No.
Doesn't happen.
No. It's just, it's too subtle. Even if it's there, it's too subtle. But what you do notice is the better HDR tone mapping or the better shadow definition.
Yeah. I mean, you can notice it. It's just, that's not what you notice. Even on the Griffin. The Griffin does 100% 2020. Measured. 100% 2020. And nobody comes over and says, man, Pacific Rim on this is so much better color-wise than it's the brightness.
Pacific Rim is this example.
The best movie of all time.
The standing example.
The best movie of all time.
Last podcast, I said your dumb little robot movie, and I was thinking about Pacific Rim, and I think you might have been thinking about Wild Robot when I said it, because you're like, I like that movie.
I was talking
Wild
about
Robot's
Pacific
fine.
Rim.
Okay. Yeah.
Best movie.
Dumb little robot movie.
I'm going to kick you out of the stream.
You probably will.
I'm going to kick you out of the stream. You probably will. Or you're going to kick me out of the stream.
Oh, man. Yeah, you
now, so again, I'm not saying you can't notice. I'm just saying that it's not something that the average Joe off the street is going to look at and be like, man, the green on that is better. They're going to notice it's brighter. And the green probably is better, but that's not what they're going to notice.
Sony has a better remote.
Okay, yes, they do. They win that, no question. That is... JVC's remote is terrible.
Terrible. It's actually pretty good. Like when we saw the remote, I thought this is a nice remote.
It is, but that's because we're used to using JVCs. And those are bad.
The worst.
Those are really bad. Who has the best remote?
Harris, your remotes stink.
Who has the best remote?
Sony's or Epson's are way better than JVC's. I mean, I don't know about all the little Chinese players. The Valerian. How's the remote on the Valerian?
I don't know.
We saw it. We touched it. It was metal. It seemed nice.
Don't start lighting fires. Don't do that. I'm trying to think.
The Zanami, how do you say it? The Chinese one, the Zanami or whatever that we saw at M-Wave, that was a nice remote. It was metal. Like I like a quality remote. There's no reason not to have a quality remote. We're on a weird topic when he's asking about which flagship projector is better, and we'd go into the remotes.
Well, that's because JVC's remote is that bad.
Yeah, and we were trying to find something that Sony was better at to give it a
Kaleidoscape's remote is also pretty bad.
leg up.
And Storm, I love you. Your remote, not good.
Turn-off remote is awful.
Okay, yes. It seems like the more expensive something gets, the worse the remote gets. Just the worst. Worse it gets. It is awful. Do I have it over here?
We can't hear you when you're 6 inches away from your mic.
Do I have it over here? No, I don't. I thought I had the Storm remote over here, but I don't. The Storm remote's very similar to the JVC remote. It's like they looked at JVC's remote and goes, man, look at how sexily bad that remote is.
But do the buttons register on the Storm remote?
The buttons you can feel are individual buttons instead of like plastic, one sheet of plastic that's cut.
You have no idea where your thumb is until you turn on the 2.5 second backlight that turns off immediately before you can read anything.
That's pretty...
Only to push the button 10 times to have it register 5.
Skylake says the turn-off remote is like those remotes on the on TV you find in a $5 discount.
It is. That turn-off remote is bad. Talk to your people at turn-off. Talk to John. Say, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, the reason they do that is because nobody uses those remotes.
It doesn't matter. It's like think about an Apple product. It's a look and feel. And if you see that squashy button mush mouth remote that they bundle in there that looks like a piece of $5 Chinese plastic, it's
but with Trinov,
good for their image.
I know, but with Trinov, most people that buy Trinov are not end users. They are dealers that are implementing
that remote. You guys, when you sell it, you don't?
They don't. Usually when Trinov goes in, it goes in with an IP control system. So they never see the remote. It's all controlled via iPad or phone or a dedicated like Crestron or Control 4 or RTI or Savant remote. They never use the remote. It still sucks. That's not an excuse. It's still bad. It's very bad. But most don't see it. Same with Storm. It's just kind of there for... I don't know why they made a remote. I don't know. Next question.
Moving on. On the Linus channel, I thought he said the tech advisor. I thought he said he was a tech advisor for the movie. And he's probably talking about our
War of the Worlds?
War of the Worlds movie. And they didn't listen to anything he said. They should have listened to somebody, whether it's Linus or somebody else. I think they listened to like the Amazon executive's kid who had all these little grand ideas to throw in there and didn't know how the world worked. And they said you have to listen to him.
I don't know who they listened to. No one? I don't know. Interesting that he was potentially a tech advisor. Maybe the script had already been written and they just went, well, the movie won't work if we listen to you, so...
Maybe they wanted to list Linus as a credit on there to boost their image, but he wouldn't let them, perhaps. After that, he shouldn't have let them. If the mains of a port doing 65 hertz like the 70J1, wouldn't that region phase shift when the subs don't? So you typically cross your speakers up about an octave over your port tune. Like, so I'm at 90 hertz. I'm not quite an octave. An octave would be a doubling. A doubling would be 130. There's no phase shift, probably in my instance, because I run my subwoofers 12 to 15 dB hot, and it would cover any phase shift there was anyway with the output from the subs. Unnoticeable in that regard. Academic, probably, but unnoticeable in real life.
Technically occurring, absolutely. Do we care? No.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Question about ported mains when crossing over the subwoofer. Wouldn't the port shift phase? This same question, same fella, different, just more broad, just more general. So, yeah, I mean, it's the same answer. You would have a little crossover interaction between the speaker and the subwoofer. It would show up on a graph. Once you elevate your subwoofer output, like we're talking about, like even just putting up 3 dB or 6 dB, you're overriding that phase shift because
Yep.
it's just a small dip. And all of a sudden now you're just gradually rolling into the mains. You're just not going to notice it.
Same thing with subs going port to the driver. Same thing.
Have you tested different amps for the Black Swans? Any thoughts of doing so?
No. Yeah, I mean, I've heard them on different ones, and they blow me away no matter what I listen to them on. I could probably drive those off of my phone, and it would make my ears bleed.
Your driver, your Black Swans are 115 dB sensitive.
117.
Yeah, fellas, think about that. So Big Street Cinema, 1 watt is producing
At 1 meter.
117 dB, and knock off 10 dB for distance. So he's getting 107 dB from 1 watt at his listening position, roughly speaking. He's 2 dB above reference with 1 watt.
Yeah.
So you're not going to make any amp struggle at 1 watt. Distortion number is going to be very low. Like, what are we listening for at that point? And our syn audibility that we've talked about before is not high. Like,
Yeah. If we're talking about the hiss, yeah, I could probably make it go away with an amp with a better noise floor. No question. It doesn't bother me enough. If that's what you're getting at. Like, you could fix it because the Trinov and the Storm amps, their noise floor is not as low as something like, I don't know, typically what you'd use with like a headphone or something, like a topping or what are they, the J something or a Monoprice or any of those that have stupidly high or low noise floors, excuse me. But it doesn't bother me. Yeah, I can hear it in the room potentially if nothing's on, but as soon as the content turns on, I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. And having everything on the same gain is nice. The hamster could power it. What's Ryan doing? He's just spinning the wheel on his finger to power the Black Swans. That's all he's doing.
That's funny. Next question, AV700. What's the process when setting the phase on a subwoofer? I have 2 subs with subs midway on each side of the room, left and right, midway between the fronts and the surrounds. So I think the easiest thing for you to do is just let your auto EQ run that between subwoofer 1 and subwoofer 2, and that should get really close. If you want to do it manually, you're going to use REW or OmniMic or something, and you're going to time align them with your mains. So you're going to play like a full range sine sweep, and you're going to raise the distance and lower the distance in the AVR, and you're going to see where you're going to lower your smoothing first off, because if you are to lower your octave smoothing to like 1/6 or 1/3, because if you have it at like no smoothing, it's too hard to read. And you're going to see by adjusting the distance where your subwoofer output is the highest, and it's as simple as that. So where it's the highest, and it will be like go up 6 inches and it's lower, go down 6 inches and it's higher, and then go down 6 inches again, it's a little higher. And you kind of fine tune it down to the inch if you have that capability, where it's at the highest output relative to the mains and relative to the other sub. That's where you're in phase. So phase is nothing more than like a distance setting or a delay. In this case, you're just trying to get the highest output, and that's how that works. It's pretty simple when you're looking at a real-time graph, and you can come up. I've talked about this before on the podcast. You can come up with the exact same, with some knowledge and some practice. I've done it in my own room, the exact same to the inch dimensions that the auto EQ does. So I tell this story. When I was setting up my room just to make sure auto EQ was doing it right, I first did it with my own calibration to do the exact thing I'm talking about, just watching the real-time graph, integrating the subs one at a time, and changing the delay on it until it got to the point where it was the highest, like just raising the SPL until it was the highest. And then I was at a certain distance, and I ran my auto EQ, and the auto EQ put it to the inch, the same thing that I did manually. So that's how you do it.
Look at you.
Okay, next one. Nick Adiafon. I'm probably saying that wrong. I shouldn't have said the last name. Anybody have experience with the Dayton Audio PSS 555 21 driver? Cheaper than UM18, less excursion, more diameter for near field, better than more excursion? Let's look it up.
Do it.
Dayton, I'm not even typing. Dayton Audio PS 555. You want me to share it?
Go ahead.
This turning off HDR so that you guys don't get destroyed there. Share screen. Share. Okay, did it pop up?
Mm-hmm.
Accordion bass surround, 22 millimeter peak to peak. So not awful. Dayton typically underrates their driver. I think like the UM18 does 5 or 6 millimeter more than what it's rated for, so it could be similar here.
That's 22 millimeters of full
Peak to peak, it says. So it's really more like 11, depending on how they rate it.
That's not great.
What's the sensitivities were very high, so I think the Ultimax is like 88 or something. So you're going to get a free, 8 dB or something right there. Resonant frequencies 27. That's not bad. I don't know. It's just like we talked about with the other gentleman on here. My favorite part of the near field is when those drivers really get moving and they're moving a lot of air and you're feeling that feel in your back. And an accordion based surround is not built for that same function. This is a larger driver, so there's that. I don't know which one to feel better. Let's see if I can look up the UM1822 and see how it's spec'd. Yeah, what that's peak to peak is rated on here. 28 millimeter X Max. So they've changed this. Oh, that's the 2. I was going to say it used to be rated similar to that other one, but it was actually more like 20 or 29 according to database when they tested it. Yeah. And the new one's more sensitive to the old one. The new one's 90.1 versus like 88 on the old one, I think. I don't know, man. That's a hard question to ask. You're probably going to be in the same ballpark, to be frank, because the extra size is going to help you too. One thing to note, do we have a graph on this thing? I suspect the graph on this might be I should look at it before I specify, but it might be a rising response. And it's not terrible, but it is a rising response. So can you see that, or is it too small? You can see it now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from 20 hertz to 100 hertz, we're up. What is that? From 80 to 98, 18 dB from 20 to 100. Let's look at the other one.
But what is... I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean anything if that's the native response of the driver. I mean, if you DSP that, depending on what compression is.
But it does in the sense that if you're going to hit the limits, which you might very well be doing, it'll always default back to native response.
It will when you hit the limits. But my point is if you're not hitting the limits, that you could not get that response. So depending on where it's compressing.
To put that in comparison, you take that 21 to its limits, you're going to be 18 dB down at 20 hertz as compared to where you're at 100.
Yes.
But if you take this Ultimax, you're going to be just like 10 dB, not even that. You're going to be 6 dB down. So what we're talking about is if you're taking the driver to its absolute limits, it will start to ignore the EQ you apply.
Yep.
It will return to its native response, its native frequency response, which is what these things are graphing here from Dayton Audio. And so you can DSP it till you're blue in the face, and if you turn it up loud, it's going to ignore your DSP. Yep. Is what I'm telling you.
But what this graph isn't showing you is where the driver's actually compressing. When it starts compressing, you're going to return to this.
Yeah. And so what I'm telling you from that is that at your full bore, I'm putting in this driver for all it's worth, you're not going to have very much output down here, but you're going to have a lot of output up here with the Pro Audio style driver, with the accordion surround style driver. So if you're chasing that deep wobbly bass, the infrasonic feel, then I still, looking at these graphs, I'm still going to definitely steer you towards the Ultimax. I mean, that's what it's for. So that's why they designed the driver they did, to have the big surround on it and so forth. That's what it's designed to do. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it.
I agree. I agree with you.
Stop sharing. Okay, so the next question here. Oh, we got a few more that popped in while I was pinned. Here we go. No, I don't. I was back on all comments. So there's no more pinned. Do we have anything else that came in that you want to pin?
There's this one. So AV700 says, sorry to be more specific. What phase settings should I put each sub 0 to 180 for the subs that are on each side? They're opposite each other on each sides of the left and room, left and right.
So the 0 to 180 is a phase delay that's setting on the subwoofer itself instead of the receiver by like channel distance, like trim, like per channel, you know how you have a distance setting. That's basically doing the same thing in a different way. 0 is how you should start both those, and you should be messing with the trim distance in your AVR or on your DSP. The 0 to 180 is a way to do it from the subs if you don't have a source capability that does it, but your source capability is going to be more refined than that clumsy knob that is hard to gauge even where you're at. To put it in perspective, like 180 degrees is basically switching the red and black wire. It's 180 degrees out of phase, and so it's a delay function. If you put one at 0 and one at 80, it'd be like you wired them in reverse, and they will effectively cancel the sound out, almost cut the sound in half. So don't mess with that. Put it both at 0. Let your AVR, your DSP rule.
Well, that's helpful if you have multiple sub outs, but if you don't and you're using splitters, the phase dial will help.
Yeah, that's fair. True. If you're just daisy chaining 2 subs on one subwoofer out, you have to use those things.
Yeah.
Or a mini DSP and plug your single subwoofer out in the mini DSP
and to do that, what you're going to want to do is if you're using a splitter, you're going to want to take a measurement, adjust the phase. You do one sub at a time, adjust the phase, take another measurement, adjust the phase, take a measurement until you stop getting an increase in output.
It's going to be pretty clumsy using those knobs because they're hard to precision adjust.
You don't get back there with like a caliper and precision adjust them. The ones that have clicks are even worse because the clicks don't always match up.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just bad.
If you got 2 sub outs, and very specifically, you're processing 2 different sub outs with different EQ, with different time delays, with different SPL levels, like you're truly processing 2 subwoofer outputs, just put them both at 0 and run them separately.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you would do that.
Yep. Tim Brussels, last question, unless somebody else asks something. Ryan, does a Martin Logan electrostatic vertical speaker, so like a traditional electrostatic speaker that's standing up, work as a center channel instead of that horizontal one on the floor? I mean, yeah. Unless are you talking about laying a vertical one down on its side? If you are, I wouldn't do that because you're going to have 0 if you lay it on its side, 0 horizontal dispersion and like 30 degrees of vertical dispersion. So the ones that are on the floor, like the 34C, the panel is shaped differently to create more side-to-side dispersion, and it still has very limited vertical dispersion. So electrostatics are not great center channel speakers for entire couches or multi-row, but if you had a vertical one, like as an example, let's say I had 3 15As, 1, 2, 3, you could absolutely use the one in the middle as a center channel. You're just going to be very limited in its dispersion. But that's just a characteristic of an electrostatic speaker. They're very narrow in how they throw sound. But you could do it. Sound will probably change as you move your head. High Finest with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. It's me again asking about the 97 G2. I remember that conversation. He asked about the 97 G2 versus the 100-inch Sony. That was a micro LED. I currently have an A90J 83, so an 83 G5 wouldn't quite be an upgrade. Does that mean the 97 is best? Are you just itching to spend money? Is that where we're going? I would say the 97-inch G2 would potentially be best if you really need to spend money. But
So last week we didn't know he had an OLED, did we? And we were saying like,
No.
how good an OLED was, but he already has one.
Yes.
Well, that's all the more reason he's not going to want to go to a mini LED after having an OLED.
Fair point. Yes, fair point. I think you'd be better served just moving your seating forward and putting that money into the room instead of a 97 G2. That's what I would do. But I do see the benefit of a 97-inch OLED. That is pretty cool. We've seen them. I mean, Jonathan's seen them.
Sure.
They are cool. They're big. But then you put it next to a projector and it's not so big anymore.
Right. But still very cool.
Would you buy that or would you stick with the A90J?
I'm kind of a bang for buck type guy, so spending 10 grand to go up 15 inches seems like a kind of a big step for me. I don't know if I'd do that.
Yeah, I don't know what if I would.
I mean, do you think he'd even, like, in your opinion, do you think he'd even like the 97 mini LED compared to his 83 OLED he has now?
Oh, no. I would not get the Bravia 5. No. He won't like that.
I think you'll be disappointed with that, man, if you'd go from 83 OLED to a 97 mini LED. I think you would be. I would be disappointed.
What about the 97-inch G2?
Now you're at 10 grand again, though, when he already has an 83. I'd say sit this generation out and see what happens in the future. That's my advice.
Yeah. I agree with that advice. Put that money somewhere else. More subwoofers. Can never have too many of those. More subs. Yeah. I start a couple more.
Okay.
I'm going to let you take the next one.
I'm reading here. What's your opinion of wide versus narrow dispersion for home theater? What's the minimum dispersion? Paul says. Well, we kind of had two completely different examples, Ryan. You had narrow dispersion.
I did.
Martin Logan. And I have very broad dispersion with my CBT70J1s. It's no right or wrong. It's a preference thing. The narrow dispersion stuff keeps some of the bounce off the wall, keeps some of the sound off the wall. It can be potentially a cleaner sound.
Mm-hmm.
The wider dispersion fills up the room more, has more sound off the walls, can be a broader central like listening point where it's not as focused to sound, but there's a broader sweet spot. Mm-hmm. There's no right or wrong. You could ask 10 people in the hobby that are got 15,000 posts on AVS and you'll get 5 different answers, because they lean both ways. I would say generally, and this is kind of just general advice that works pretty broadly. If you have a treated room, you can get away with a broader dispersion speaker and enjoy it. And if you have a less treated room or a more like hard surface type room, you might want to consider a narrow dispersion speaker to keep some of that acoustic energy off the walls that are not treated, so you don't have so much reverb coming back at you from different delays and bounce points. So treated room, broad; untreated room, narrow. Generic advice, but sound as far as instruction.
I would agree. You said that well.
How many seats you think about How many seats you think about third 15A can cover? At least 3-row sofa?
So he's talking about the center channel.
Oh.
Man, the 15As, any electrostatic speaker, it'll cover it, but your prime seat is like 6 inches. It's not very big. Your sound's going to change as you do this. So if your head is locked in a vise, pretty good. And it'll work, but for the people that care, 1 seat. Would you agree?
I mean, you had a lot more experience with your room and your Martin Logans than I did. I was over there a few times, but I wasn't trying to do your test that you're suggesting. And generally speaking, that makes sense. But I'll let you speak to it more.
Yeah,
experience based.
The electrostatics are 1-seat speakers. They're not like a share with my friends. Everybody's getting the same experience. It's not going to happen. So it'll cover it and it'll work. It's just your frequency response is going to change drastically seat to seat.
Ooh, look at this Chris question.
I'm starting. There's another one before that.
Oh, it hadn't updated. Now here it is. Currently in an apartment. I have a 4.0 Polk system with an LG CX65. One day I want full reference in a home, but what should my next upgrade be so that I don't have to repurchase when I move into my forever home?
That's tough.
Well, he lives in an apartment, so subwoofers are kind of off the shelf. That would be my go-to answer.
That was my thought. Yeah.
Any kind of display tech is going to get outdated in 5 years.
I would just bank the money, invest it, let it grow, and then when you're ready to buy, buy. Don't play the game of buy now, hope things work out with what you're doing in the future. Even if you get speakers, those speakers may not be conducive for the room that you're doing. You may get overkill. You may not get enough. And it's not a smart decision to buy now in hopes that it works out in the future. So kind of bite the bullet, not bite the bullet, but just save, bite the bullet and don't spend, I guess is what I was saying. Invest it so that it keeps up with inflation, and then spend it when you're ready to pull that trigger. Because then you're buying once, crying once. Don't buy now in hopes that you're not crying later, because you probably will be. I've been down that pathway. I'm sure Jonathan has too. You're like, oh, this is cool. I can use this later. Oh, look, it's out of date and it's not what I needed. Great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to find like something that lasts forever in this hobby besides a favorite set of speakers and a favorite set of subs, because other stuff just changes.
But the problem with speakers is you don't know what your requirement's going to be for that room.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're either going to overspend or...
Look at Ryan Kramer's suggestion. He's smarter than us. Clearly.
Well,
that's a good choice.
Clearly, yes. He is smarter than us.
Ryan, that's a good choice. Hats off. Listen to that. Listen to that guy.
Get some transducers.
Yeah, like why not? Learn to dial those in, because that's going to make your pinnacle home theater when you get your own house all that much better to have that knowledge.
Yeah. But failing that, I would invest it and just wait.
Here was the suggestion for anyone who might not be watching the chat. It said, how about a seat shaker? So he doesn't bother the rest of the apartment neighbors if he wants to have an extra tactile feel and not shake the house. All right. He liked the answers, even if we didn't give him the best one. He liked it. So that's good.
I thought it was the best answer. It just wasn't the most fun answer.
What? Adam, what does this mean? Is this some sort of innuendo? The wife likes narrow dispersion speakers and small gauge speaker wire. I'm not sure what he's meaning there.
I could say something, but I'm not.
We'll leave it alone. There could be an innuendo there.
Super chat.
Oh, sorry. That one is... Go ahead, super chat.
Hi, Finest. $10 super chat. Thank you very much, my friend. Much appreciated. Ran my first Dirac calibration on my new AV10 and love it. I can't quite get the bass right. Sounds bloated. How steep should I make the ski jump? I like a lower crossover on my 802 D4s.
802 D4. What is that?
Bowers.
Huh. Yes, it is. You're correct. Look at you knowing that off the top of your head.
It's like I work in the industry or something.
What the heck? I wouldn't have known that. You got me. So he can't get the bass right with his sub integration into his towers, his B&O towers?
No, he just says it's bloated.
You're not a big fan of Dirac's bass correction right now, from hearing you talk in the past. Has that changed?
It can do it. I'm trying to think of what would cause it to sound bloated. My guess is there's a phase problem and you're turning the volume up in order to compensate for it. Or you're chasing, that's my guess, is there's a phase issue that either Dirac can't fix because it's a room issue or something similar. I would measure it and send us your measurements and let us know, but I'm guessing it's phase.
So I don't have Dirac on my AV10, once you've run Dirac, can you change the crossover point on the AV10, or is it locked in?
No, you can't.
That would be nice if we could just tell him to raise his crossover point and let the subs handle it more. It could be something as simple as that.
Yeah, I don't think you can. But run an REW sweep and look at what that tells you. Do not rely on what Dirac tells you is the estimated response, because it's going to be wrong. So take a sweep and then send that to us if you want, and we can tell you you've probably got a phase problem and you're chasing volume to try and get tactile feel, and it's creating a bloatiness.
Can you tell us a little bit more about how you're describing bloaty too? I'd like to know more about like more adjectives on what you mean by that. Like bloated could mean it's too much. It could mean like it's sounds like it's struggling. It could mean a phase issue, like something says doesn't sound quite right. But I want to know how you're defining bloated. Do you have REW as well, like he said, or OmniMic or anything? We got another super chat here from AV700 just for our conversation in the past with him. Thank you, man. That's nice. Appreciate it.
Much appreciated.
So what else do we got in here? Are you kind of pinning more still? Or do we have more?
There is one. So there's this one. This one just came in. So he's asking about Martin Logan, and I guess he was thinking about speakers to invest into. It's not that Martin Logan's bad. It depends on the experience that you're trying to get and what your overall expectation is. If you're like the Martin Logan sound and you don't care about anybody else in the room, you're a home theater narcissist, like I myself can be, then they can be great speakers. It doesn't mean they're bad, but you should always get a speaker that fixes or allows you to attain whatever result you're trying to do and allows you to fix any issues that are in the room. They should be used as a tool. They should not be bought as something, oh, this looks cool and I like how this sounds in a vacuum. You really need to evaluate how they interact with the room and what the overall result is going to be from that. So the JTRs are good. Ascendo is going to deliver that. If you're not chasing reference, Kef is really good. JBL on their commercial stuff can be great. I'm not a big fan of the JBL stuff necessarily on the residential. Doesn't mean it's bad. That's just a subjective opinion. A lot of people love the JBL stuff. Do you have any other suggestions for him, Jonathan, for speakers?
And we've talked about it before, there is I'll demo my speaker for other enthusiasts thread on AVS Forum. I'll link it real quick. You should see if there's anybody in your area that would let you demo their speakers. Sometimes there might be a dozen people in your area, depending on what city you live in, that are AVS Forum enthusiasts and that are happy to share their room and let you hear what it sounds like.
Or make the trip to Kansas City and we'll ruin you forever.
Then there's always the thing we talked about in depth last week about how the setup and the EQ and the auto processing for auto EQ could dramatically change the way the speakers sound. So you have to take some of it with a grain of salt. But it's still a good idea to kind of like broaden your horizons and listen to different things and see what you like. Let's see, speaker. I'll demo my speakers for other enthusiasts.
Right. So while you're posting that, I'm going to move on to High Finest. So High Finest gave us some more information about his bass issue. So he says it sounds like it's in phase. He says it's tight. He just said that his mid bass sounds like it's too much. What can happen with a lot of auto EQs is they have a limit to how much they'll cut or boost. So what may be happening is you have a mode that is existing in your main seating position and you just have way too much at that particular frequency and it can't cut. So when you're adjusting this in Dirac, go back in there and add a dip, add a big cut at that frequency and see if you can smooth it out and allow it to recalculate and see if you can fix it.
I know some various versions of Dirac do and don't allow you to change things after the fact. Does he even have tone controls on Dirac on Marantz? You might not know either. I wouldn't expect you to necessarily know, but I don't know. This could also be a question that might be good for the AV10 thread on AVS Forum because there's a lot of people in there that do run the Dirac software and might have some answers specific to our processor. So I put the question mark in there for Tim. We lost our show on stream. Here we go. So it's there at the top.
I thought you did that intentionally. Oh.
There's the link for the I'll demo my speakers for other enthusiasts. If you Google it, you'll find it as well. And that by city, there's a lot of different options. So maybe there'll be something near you.
I think that's it. We reached the end. A little short one.
That's
hour
all
and
right.
15 minutes. So did we decide on what movie we're going to watch? We're going to talk about it a little bit more. It's between Prey and
Accountant
Superman.
2 and Superman.
Accountant 2.
And Prey.
I haven't seen Accountant 2. I have not seen Superman. I've seen Prey, but it's been a while. I don't remember.
I think Superman could be fun, and we could resume at your place or at one of the other Kansas City hosts. We that sort of died already. We need to pick it back up again.
We tried to carry it, and then it went. Maybe we just need to alternate between us, and then if it just becomes you and me, that's fine. I'll go have a date with you. It's fine. Order pizza. Have the Apple TV remote go out of control on us every time. It's fine. Just it's good. So Superman. We'll do Superman. Better for worse. That sounds good. We'll figure out a day. Skipped my Atmos question.
Uh-oh.
That's Chris Coulter. There was an Atmos question? Uh-oh.
I missed it, but I was watching the pin stuff.
Uh-oh. Where did I miss it? Chris? Oh, no, you missed it. I had it starred. Want to add 4 Atmos to my 5.2 living room set system. This is the last question. Will I lose out if I do not do non-aimable in-ceiling speakers versus aimable or surface mount with angle baffles aimed at the main listening position? Balance, clean look versus function versus money. The triangle. You're going to miss out if you don't aim them.
Yeah.
I would always recommend you aim them.
And it's not really okay to put it way off axis with an aimable tweeter either.
No.
Because the woofer has its own dispersion pattern that you want to try to accommodate as well. The really, usually, not always, but usually the thing that's aimable is the little tweeter.
Yeah.
And the woofer's just firing wherever it's firing.
You can't, there are speakers, Martin Logan makes them for in ceilings that are angled. The whole speaker is angled. They've got an M6 HT. I think they've got an M8 HT, and the whole chassis, the woofer included, aims at like 30-degree angle. So you could do those. I don't think Kef has anything. I don't know if Focal does. There's other manufacturers that do, but either do that or do traditional speakers and mount them on ceiling, or something like an Ascendo and do like a wedge that gives you a 30-degree offset with a on wall or on ceiling. Would you agree, Jonathan?
Yeah. In-wall speakers are always, in my opinion, always a compromise.
Well,
I haven't met in-wall speakers yet that have blown my socks off. Have you?
I mean, you can put the Ascendos in wall.
But does it come out better than the Ascendos that are not in wall?
It's the same speaker. You're just putting it in the wall.
Yeah, but the angles are not aimed at MLP, or so your dispersion patterns are not.
It still has to be aimed at the position. If you're talking about that you can't aim them, then yeah, I agree. There are some, like Perlisten makes a really good one that's in wall. Kef has some good stuff, but you can't aim them unless you're building boxes and having them kind of come out of the wall, and then you might as well just put an on wall on there. Makes it easier. Aiming is really important. But if you're balancing like the look, the clean look, the function, and the money, you're probably going to want something like an angled in ceiling that brings the angle, because it's going to give you that aesthetic of not seeing it. It's flush with the ceiling. Now are we done?
I think we're done.
Okay. Was there anything else that I missed? No. Are you laughing at me?
I'm laughing because you're like, are we done? I said, yes, we're done. And you're like, well, what else did I miss?
No, because I don't want to leave anybody hanging.
Chris said I saw a squirrel and we lost his question because I did see Chris's question come in. I thought it would be good, and then something happened.
Yeah. Chris, if you have any further questions, just send us an email. Send me an email. Send Jonathan an email. Reach out. We can help you, or try to. Is that okay that I tell people that, Jonathan? I don't like putting...
I've never got an email. I get all kinds of AVS forum PMs constantly.
PM, Jonathan. There.
I answer most of them. There are times where I'm too busy and I just can't do another PM, but I do answer, and it's not intended to be any kind of slight to anyone if I don't answer right away, or if I don't answer, I do try to answer all of them.
He doesn't like you.
There's a lot of them that come in, man.
You're a popular guy. Popular guy. People see that 25,000 posts or whatever you have and like, dang, I need that guy's advice. Okay, so Superman. I'm going to watch Sinners, hopefully this weekend. And yeah, Chris, next time you're in Kansas City, PM and email us, and we'll get together. Go to get some barbecue. I went to Jack Stack yesterday. It was good. Started getting their burn-in stew. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Jonathan, I will let you get back to your family. We can try and plan on next Friday, I think. Are we good for next Friday?
As far as I know.
Yes, we will do next Friday. So we'll plan on next Friday. We'll watch our movies. If you guys have any suggestions for topics, please do post them. We do read them. I act like I respond and don't. Jonathan does respond. I'm kidding. I try and respond. Just I'm very forgetful, and I'll forget that I even made a YouTube video and forget that people respond. So Jonathan's better at that than I am. I haven't figured out how to get my phone to consistently remind me that people have posted. Just bad. I'm the type of guy that gives my phone to my wife and be like, hey, here, fix this. You know how to work the phone better than I do. Does that mean I'm becoming an old man?
Yes.
That's unfortunate. Okay. Well, Jonathan, have a great weekend. If I don't talk to you, we'll figure out a day and we will go from there.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy the home theater. Watch a movie.